Leaving your job isn't just about walking out the door, it's about making the smartest move for your future. And trust me, quitting on an impulse can lead you to mistakes you wish you avoided. And remember, if you don't have your own plan, you are part of someone else's plan. Do you hate your job and you are thinking about quitting? If you're watching this video right now, it means you're already thinking about it and you're one step forward in that direction. You are already thinking, evaluating and considering quitting your job, and I believe this is a professional error not to do so, and not to stay informed of the job market trends. It's also a mistake not to occasionally check what your value is in that market. If you are new to this channel, I'm David, with over 20 years in finance and banking, including a decade here in Hong Kong, where I've built a successful side hustle generating over 1 million. And so I'm here to share a bit of my journey on entrepreneurship and self-development. Don't forget to like this video and to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. So stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to figure out if now is the right time to quit, or if you should take a step back and plan your next move. This is one decision you don't want to rush. Before you make that decision that could be life-changing for you, you need to ask yourself 3 critical questions. Why do you want to quit? When is the right time to quit? And how can you make it happen with a plan and without regrets? And by the way, I want to introduce you to a simple self-reflection tool I designed to help you think a bit deeper about reasons for quitting your job and if this is the right time. So this tool consists of about 30 questions that will guide you through your thoughts and feelings. You'll rate each question from a scale from 1 to 5, and at the end you will receive a live feedback based on your total score. Whether you are just starting to reflect or you are ready for a change, this tool will help you to assess your situation. So the link is in the description, and it's a first step toward making a well-informed decision about your future. So how do you know if it's time to quit your job? And so here are a few signs to look out for. If you find yourself justifying your job by comparing it to a worse situation, it might be time to reevaluate. This mentality can hold you back from striving for something better. And so instead of thinking it could be worse, try thinking it could be better. Let's say you're working a 9-to-5 job that you don't love, but you're telling yourself it's better than being unemployed. That might be true. It's not a good reason enough to stay in a job that's not fulfilling. You deserve better than just a paycheck. You deserve a job that makes you happy and fulfilled. If your job is affecting your mental health and well-being, it might be time to consider quitting. And this can manifest in different ways, such as feeling drained, irritable, or depressed. And I know I'm not a mental health expert, but I do know that your job should not making you miserable. If you are feeling constantly unhappy and unfulfilled, it might be time to take a step back and to reevaluate your situation. I have to admit that I experienced toxic impact in my previous jobs, and I was working long hours and feeling consistently drained. I was irritable, depressed, and I didn't know what to do. I felt like I was somehow stuck and I didn't know how to get out. But then I started to notice some changes in my behavior. I was becoming more short-tempered and withdrawn, and I was really avoiding social situations. I just wanted to be left alone in my cave like a bear. And that's when I realized that I needed to make a change, and I needed to make it now. Another sign that it's time to leave your job is when you have too much self-respect to stay. It means that you're feeling undervalued, underappreciated, or even abused by your manager or your colleagues. If you are constantly feeling like you are not being treated with the respect you deserve, it's time to start thinking about leaving. You deserve to work in an environment where you are valued and respected. If you are not getting that, it's time to look elsewhere. Don't settle for a job that makes you feel bad about yourself or your abilities. You have too much self-respect to stay in a situation that's not serving you. So another sign that it's time to leave your job is when your body starts to scream at you. So I discussed with many people who have quitted their jobs without really having another one lined up. One of the commonalities is that they started to experience physical symptoms. They might have been perfectly healthy before, but suddenly they started to get back problems, migraines, or other physical things. And this is your body's way of telling you that something is wrong. And so if you are experiencing physical symptoms that you can't explain, it might be the time to start thinking about why is that from, and maybe it's about you need to start thinking about leaving your job. And the last sign it's time to leave your job is when you start asking yourself the question, how will I know when it's time to go? If you are already thinking about leaving, it's probably past time to start thinking about it. And so you owe it to yourself, right, to get out of situations that are not bringing you joy. If you are constantly dreading Sunday night and Monday morning, it's time to pay attention to your feelings. You have one life to live and you should not spending this life in a job that makes you unhappy. But hold on, before you make any decision, take a step back and ask yourself, am I running away from something or towards something? Make sure you have a clear goal in mind and that you're not just quitting your job by frustration. What do you want to achieve by quitting your job? Do you have a plan in place? I know that I quit my job because I was running towards something. I had a clear goal in mind and I was excited to pursue it. I wasn't just quitting out of frustration or boredom. I was quitting because I had a vision for my future and I was willing to take a risk to achieve it. Another question you should ask yourself is, can you financially afford to quit? So having a safety net is crucial. Make sure you have enough savings to fall back in case things don't work out. How much money do you need to live comfortably? Do you have enough savings to cover your expenses for 3 months, 6 months, for 1 year? I know that I had a safety net when I quitted my job in the past. I had enough savings to cover my expenses and I could make ends meet. But I also knew that I had to be careful with my finances. I had to budget carefully and make sure that I wasn't overspending. It's essential to pay attention to your feelings and your body. If you are feeling unhappy, unfulfilled, undervalued, it's time to think about quitting your job. Don't ignore your feelings or try to push them aside. Instead, listen to them and take action. And so, talking about taking action, what can you do if you are feeling like it's time to leave your job? The first step is to start thinking about what you want to do next, what you really want to achieve. What are your goals? What are your aspirations? What kind of job career do you want to have? Once you have an idea of what you want to do, start taking small steps toward making it happen. Update your resume, start networking, and begin to explore for new opportunities. Plan first and execute later. When should you quit your job? If you are truly in a toxic situation where you are being asked to do something illegal or unethical, if you are experiencing harassment or you are in a hostile work environment, then it's probably time to leave. However, if you are just unhappy with your job or feeling undervalued, it might be better to stick it out for now. The labor market is not in your favor and you might struggle to find a new job. I recommend that you talk with your peers, with your manager, and try to think together on how you can make things better. My recommendation is to buckle down and focus on making your resume shine, work on getting noticed by recruiters and hiring managers. Don't just quit your job without a plan. Don't think that you will be able to land another one quickly. Think the opposite, just by security. To succeed in your career, you need a strategy. You can't just wing it and expect to get results. And so risk management is crucial when it comes to quitting your job. You need to think carefully about the risk involved and make sure that you're prepared for them. I know that I took a risk when I quitted my job in the past, but I also knew that it was a calculated risk. I had thought carefully about my situation and I had a plan in place. I knew that there were risks involved, but I was willing to take them because I believed in myself and my abilities, and I had a plan. In conclusion, knowing when it's time to leave your job is crucial. If you're feeling undervalued, underappreciated, or unhappy, it's time to think about moving. Your body will tell you when it's time to go, and you owe it to yourself to listen. Don't settle for a job that's not bringing you joy. Instead, take action and start working towards building a career that fulfills you. Remember, it's essential to have a strategy and a plan before making any career decisions. Don't just quit a job without thinking it through. Take the time to prepare and make informed decisions. You have one life to live and you should spend it doing something that makes you happy. Lastly, don't do this alone. Reach out to people who have gone through similar experiences and build a support network. If you're working in big corporates, take time to talk with peers, with your managers. Talk to your family, your friends, and try to get a mentor to take the decision. And if possible, try to have multiple streams of income to make the transition smoother. This could be a side hustle, freelancing. Having multiple streams of income can give you peace of mind and make it easier to quit your job. If you want to stay up to date with latest career advice, personal development, and entrepreneurships, be sure to subscribe to my channel. The link is somewhere below. Thanks for watching. I hope this video has given you some food for thoughts. If you have any question or any comments, feel free to leave them below. I will have a big pleasure to reply to you. Thank you very much. Cheers.